Variables in ActionScript 3.0 are pretty similar to variables in other languages like JavaScript. Here I'm going to go to the first keyframe of the Actions layer and open up the Actions panel. Remember, that's Option F9 on the Mac or F9 on the PC. You create variables using the keyword var. So type var and then a space, and now we'll type the variable name. So let's say I wanted to create a variable called my name. Call it my and then name with a capital N, and that's my variable name. What you do in ActionScript is declare a data type. You declare a data type using a colon. So type a colon, and then the code hinting window pops up. Code hinting window shows you the different data types that you can type to different variables. Here, my name is going to be a string, so I'm going to type string with a capital S, and once it gets highlighted in the code hinting window, I'll press enter or return on my keyboard to have Flash complete the code for me. Now if you want to set it equal to a value, you can type space equals space, and then the value in quotes, and then a semicolon to end the statement. So my name is Todd, so I type a capital T in the quotes. And let's say I wanted to see that value in the output window. I can type trace, some parentheses and a semicolon, and inside of the parentheses I'm going to trace the value of the variable by just typing the variable name. So my name, and if I test the movie, I'll see my name in the output window. I'll close the preview window and return to my code. In ActionScript, you can give a value right away on the same line of code as you declare the variable. You can also give the value later on. So let's say I deleted everything after the word string, except for the semicolon. I wanted to declare the variable on a later line of code. I could do that by typing my name equals and then the value in quotes, semicolon after the quotes to end the statement, test the movie, and we get the same result. Variables are pretty easy to work with. Generally, the data types start with a capital letter. There are a few exceptions. I'm going to erase the 2 lines of code where I define the my name variable. I'm going to delete the value my name in the trace statement. I'm going to create some number variables. I'll create a variable called mynum, capital N, data type it to a number, capital N, and I'll set it equal to 15. Now I'll trace the value of mynum, test the movie, and there's 15 in the output window. The number data type supports positive numbers, negative numbers, and floating point numbers. So I can have a number like 15 point, a bunch of numbers, and test the movie, and there's my value in the output window. There are 2 other number data types, and these don't start with a capital letter. There's int and uint. Int, that's int, I'm just going to change the data type of my num, all lowercase. This is for whole numbers. So if I put a floating point number in there, the number is actually going to get truncated when I test the movie. So you'll just see 15 instead of 15.234987234. Integers can be positive or negative. So I'll erase the decimal and all the numbers after that, and I'll change the value to negative 15. I'll test the movie again and see negative 15 in the output window. Using the int data type when we're working with integers will optimize your applications. In other words, the number data type is a little bit heavier and therefore slower than the integer data type, so use the integer data type whenever you can to optimize any applications that you have. Another data type is the uint, or positive integer. So uint, all lowercase. Make sure that you don't type unit instead. And then I'm going to type 15 in there, not negative 15, and I'll test the movie. And then I get 15 in the output window. Now if you try to put an unacceptable value in there, like a negative value, and I test the movie, then I'm going to get this really high number. That's actually the maximum value of a positive integer. So when you're working with positive integers, just make sure that they're always positive. Note that positive integers also include 0. The last thing I want to show you is Boolean data types. So I'm going to erase my num from the trace statement, erase line 1 in my code. Create another variable, call it my bool, capital B. I'm going to data type it to Boolean, also capital B. And in ActionScript, Boolean values are true or false, all lowercase, not in quotes. So true, and I'll trace my bool, test the movie, command return on the Mac, control enter on the PC, I get true. I can change it to false, that's all lowercase. Test the movie again, I get false in the output window. And the default value of a Boolean variable is false. So if I don't set a value, I test the movie, then I'll get false. So to work with variables in ActionScript 3.0, define them using the var keyword, type a space, name your variable, avoiding spaces and special characters, data type with a colon, declare the data type. Most values begin with a capital letter. In fact, all values begin with a capital letter except for int and uint, end the state with a semicolon, and you can trace the value in a trace statement.